Today, there's a ton of leadership books and a lot of articles that have been written on the subject. And to be completely honest with you, I have found very little value from those. The leaders that I've borne witness to are true men of God that have been able to lay down their lives and their time for other men of God. The Bible says that the greatest among you is he who serves. And Jesus also said that there's no greater love than this, than a man who lays down his life for a friend. It's so funny because many people believe that being a leader is about telling people what to do. And that couldn't be farther from the truth. This morning, as I was spending some time preparing for Daily Bread, one of the things that came to my mind, and I just want to share my heart with you, is that being a leader is more than telling people what to do. I have found in my years of working both professionally for corporate America, as well as working for myself, that leadership is about developing those people around you. And not only developing those people around you, but developing them to their full potential. The second point is that if you desire to be a leader, you have to learn how to tap into the lives of those people that are around you and allow them to see how you live. So that means that your personal life should be an example to those people around you. The way that you study, the intensity that you work, all of those things should be an example. The last point that I would say is listening. A lot of leaders talk a lot, but they spend very little time communicating with their staff and listening to them. Taking the opportunity to listen to people will not only let you hear what they're saying outwardly, but sometimes it's what people don't say that are the most powerful things. So take a look and take the time to sit down with people and listen to and identify what their challenges are. I remember once I had an employee, he told me he wanted to be successful. He wanted to grow professionally and, was looking for an opportunity. And I told him, man, before all of that, just come and hang out with me. And we had an opportunity to spend some time together. And I started to observe his personal life, what he did in his personal life. He never studied. He never had any subjects of interest. He never worked longer than the minimal amount of hours. And he was never interested in developing himself. One of the things that I realized is that it wasn't going to be possible for me to invest any more time in him, because the truth is he didn't want to be developed. Because if he didn't want to be developed, he wouldn't be measuring his effort by the amount of time that I was paying him to work. He would be measuring his efforts by the amount of time that he was developing himself, by paying attention, listening, studying, and developing that human capital that makes him valuable in the marketplace. And this is really something that you don't see a lot today from employees. Most of the time, they're just looking for a paycheck. And I think there's a place for that. But if you have an expectation to grow from where you are right now to a point of leadership, you're going to have to spend an excessive amount of time developing yourself and developing your human capital. One of the verses that comes to mind is Proverbs chapter 14, verse 23, where it says, all hard work brings a profit, but mere talk only leads to poverty. This example that I gave you about spending time with people, it really needs to become more of an exhortation in the lives of people. Take the opportunity to encourage them and let them know that life is about developing a center of excellence. It's about having balance between your family life, your professional, and your study life, and being able to incorporate the Spirit of God into everything that you do. So what's the other side to this? Well, it's not only about getting a paycheck, but it may even be about using other people to accomplish their goals. So in other words, they're not interested in developing themselves. They want to use you in order to accomplish their goals. And I'm going to tell you what's the problem with that. The problem is you only develop a sense of how to use people rather than developing the rigor, the internal rigor that it takes in order for you to accomplish your goals. One of the things that the Lord tells us in the Bible is that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. While God is the answer, the power that He's deposited inside of you gives you the strength to be able to study longer, to run faster, to jump higher, right? To program more, to develop, to sell with integrity. All of these things are all a reflection of what God's doing inside of you and not what you're doing on your own. So the problem that you have with using other people to accomplish your goals and not allowing that spirit of excellence to flow through you is that all you do is develop a worldly perspective on how to use people to accomplish your goals. The second problem that you have is that you will not develop yourself. So over the course of time, your skills will become irrelevant because you haven't been taking the time to study how to develop those skills. You've been too busy jostling for power and manipulating others to do your work or the work for you. So those two problems you will run into at the end of the day. And these are really hard discussions to have with people. You know, a lot of people don't want these realities brought to them for different reasons. Maybe they're just lazy. Maybe they don't have the capacity to do it, or they're incompetent, whatever those challenges are. Whenever you run into people like that, the best thing that you could do is bring them to the cross. Show them your testimony. Show them how God transformed you from a clown to a champion. Show them how God was able to transform your life, your family, your professional life, your personal life, and allow them to see that reality flowing through you. If you want to lead by example, you need to be prepared to invest in those around you and correct their course where necessary.